What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and I'm back at it to give you 40 facts on the Warhammer 40k universe. This time, we will be continuing basically it's a fan fiction that was written way back when on the speculation of what would happen when the storyline of Warhammer 40k continues on to 50k. So we did that a long time ago, maybe about a year ago. So if you wanna read that one, I've got links for it on the description below, and also I will link the video that we did covering the basics to that fanfiction. This video, however, is a continuation of that previous fanfiction. So now we've done 40k, we've gotten to 50k, and now we are going to 60k. So it is basically far into the future of what we know now. Everything has changed drastically, and it's pretty crazy. I greatly encourage you guys to read the 50k one. It's called The Shape of the Nightmare to Come. Now, it was written by a guy by the name of Lord Lucan. So this is just a very brief snippet of the 50k version. It is the 51st millennium, and war continues. There was no great conflagration or calamitous final battle. Across the vastness of the galaxy, the Imperium died. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. The galactic empire of humanity crumbled, its enemies too many, too great, and too terrible to imagine. So hopefully that has piqued your interest. Once again, I'll leave in the description and at the end of the video the links for the 50k. Now let's talk about 60k, called The Age of Dusk. Once again, this was written by Lord Lucan. It is the 61st millennium. The galaxy has been moving at a blistering rate. Ancient prophecies are being fulfilled. Grand engines are grinding into gradual and unstoppable motion, finally free. All across the galaxy, forces and factions mobilize. Some are old beyond comprehension, while others are so young that the terrors of the second age of strife are troubling primordial dreams to them. Little do they know that those dreams are all horrifyingly true, and those things have been thirsting and fasting for so long to finally see their chance to inflict themselves once more upon a new generation of beings, only just recovering from the trauma of a galaxy gone mad. For the old legends were wrong. The tumblings of mankind into the pit was not the herald of the end times. It was merely the beginning of a wilder game. On the world named after a site of apocalypse, Armageddon, one of the lost sons had returned. Vulcan, the father of salamanders and one of the primarchs from long-forgotten myths, appeared to the broken people of that world and began to forge the empire of man anew, as a smith might reforge a blade, finding a new Imperium founded upon this humble and earnest ideals. His Imperium had reignited a zealous crusade of reunification across the stars, yet progress was slow. Robbed of the Astronomicon and determined to ensure every world he takes is a secure bastion of his new world order, Vulcan's millennial advance has yet to expand his realm to encompass more than a scant faction of the worlds from the former Imperium that he held dominion over. His most important contribution, however, is not the realm that he creates, but his own genetic legacy. A new Astartes founding has begun. The Space Marines rise again. A new breed of Space Marine to sweep away the corrupt and putrid Space Marine free companies as they bring Vulcan's word to the galaxy. Other bastions of man over the endless centuries also started to consolidate as the hundreds of petty Imperiums began to swallow each other in colossal, cannibalistic wars. The Talern and the Ophelian Imperiums merged after hundreds of years of bitter conflict, forming a vast human realm, founded upon unthinking obedience and religious mania, and with a unique form of warp travel developed through mass witch incinerations, their death screams propelling fleets further than normal non-navigated flights. They worship the Emperor of the Wasteland, a bastardized belief based upon the Emperor they had never known. The twisted realm of Grand Sicarium, after war, has been tempered into a diamond-hard series of systems, each world an impregnable fortress, populated by insane humans with near psychotic siege mentality ingrained deep into their souls. Led by despicable remnants of the once noble Astartes, founded before the fall of the Imperium, this realm is one of evil and oppression. Astartes are worshipped as gods, as they in their hubris believe they're idolaters. Sicarius, the ancient villain on the throne, has looked upon the Vulcan Empire and deemed it a ruse, and he has begun to plan against this. The black-fleshed demon is no Primarch. It cannot be. Both the Eastern Chaos Imperium, under the Legomaniac Huron Blackheart, and the Western Chaos Imperium, under the eternal traitor Abaddon the Despoiler, have been steadily growing. Their influence spreads, and more worlds fall to the worship of the transcendent warp powers. Yet chaos is as chaos does, and these realms are constantly in flux. The two powers detest each other, and they have engaged in constant blistering wars. Not only this, but each Imperium also suffers internal conflicts at all times, as the inherently individualist warlords of chaos vie to ensure their own dominance. Abaddon's rule is constantly oppressed by the squabbling demon Primarchs. However, while he spreads his influence outwards, they remain contained within their own hellish dreamlands, fighting like the brothers they are. Yet more worrying reports have begun to reach Abaddon upon his dark capital of Cadia. The ancient Wolfen are abroad once more, led by the largest and most fearsome of their breed yet to emerge. Some claim it is Russ himself, returned to the realm of the flesh for some coming conflict. So vast it is too large for mortals to perceive it as it comes into being. Not only this, but Abaddon has also further concern regarding the foe he bound within the solar system. The devices created to contain the unnatural potency of the Void Dragon had finally begun to crumble. Even now, previously orphaned tomb worlds and world engines are shuddering to life once more, hollow eyes gazing upon the world of flesh with disdain and hatred immeasurable. Just as the force of dissipation and entropy grows in power, its opposite paradox builds in influence. The Starfather, the dread lord of obedience and blind faith, is now a great galactic titan. Every mortal, no matter how corrupt or defiant, has a niggling urge buried in their primal brains to kneel before the forces of order. The angelic hosts of their angel world spring up everywhere, yet it is claimed that the Starfather is searching for someone, a being, an avatar capable of channeling a significant portion of his power. That way he may manifest upon the world of flesh, and hence dominate both the material and immaterial dimensions, a fate no sane being should ever desire. In the Eastern Galaxy, the greater part of the Ultima Segmentum is now Tau space. The Tau have terraformed on an unthinkable scale throughout the 51st millennium, and the fruits of their labors has showed. The Council of the Tau Va now can call upon untold billions of Tau, Guevesa, and other vassal races. Yet their rule is not the idealist paradise that they once promised. It is a rule of enforced unity under the Tau, who some say are seeking to eliminate all thought that does not condemn to proscribed philosophies of the greater good, and to destroy the dissident of freedom. Nor is the Tau Empire a peaceful one. Unseen by the Western powers of the galaxy, the Tau are grappling with something immense and ungodly. Garrison septs to their western flanks are being drawn away to reinforce the eastern septs. The Tau and the bloated Phyrexian trade system have even signed truces in order to provide a unified front against their newest foe. Worlds are dying, suns splutter and dim, as the endless and eternal silver hordes finally mobilize for full-scale war, for the first time in millions of years. The Catan have dropped their facade. They hide no more. The war in heaven is renewed. The golden-skinned jackal has not only become the immortal machinery of the Necrons at his disposal, but also other unspeakable allies. The Ophilim Kiaz is moving, and systems simply end when it passes. The splinter entities of the transdimensional non-place are no longer bound by their exile, and their temporal holocaust effects have chronologically crippled entire planetoids at the behest of the star god Deceiver. The Lord of Death is abroad also, a black shadow that kills simply because it is death itself. Even the greenskins, long presumed extinct and consigned to legends, cautiously have returned to the great conflict once more. The tiny spore morsels left on worlds on the galaxy over slowly spread and developed over the millennia. Gradually, feral orc tribes began to spring up on even civilized worlds. Officials, dismissing these feral beings as mere savage beasts, simply began to call these orc nests with military force. Thus the feral orcs grew and spread, fueled by war once more. For the first time in 20,000 years, the galaxy rang to the sound of "Wah!" once again. However, not all the orcs returning were feral. Some were anything but. A new breed of orc emerged, fully armored in heavy armor of high quality, with potent weapons and flawless discipline. These elite bands of orcs emerged from strange portals, or well-maintained warships, taking and holding worlds with horrifying efficiency, turning a world into a fortress within days. These orcs are like no orc ever encountered. It is claimed that they were exiled orcs who found their brain boys. Others claim they are all a thrall to a powerful warp being, while some claim that a being may have figured out how to pilot the orc gods themselves, wielding the entire orcoid race as a single vast weapon. Either way, the orcs are amassing for some purpose, yet unseen. Not only this, but the Eldar also gather, returning from their shadows with new insights. Some intensify their spiteful wars against the galaxy, while others take to the long view. The fallen graph world of Melanti stirs. Something is building within its nexus, something vengeful. Fate is weaving these rising empires into a great and deadly embrace. As each grows, the inevitability of coming conflict is rising and building. We cannot escape it, nor can we oppose it. We can only try and survive it and hope against hope, that when end comes, it will drag suffering and pain into the fires as well. It is the 61st millennium, and the age of Dusk is upon us. Let us hope dawn will break on a new universe, for hope is all we have, screaming against the storm. And there you have it, guys. That was the first part, the intro to Warhammer 60K, The Age of Dusk. I strongly recommend you read The Shape of the Nightmare to Come, because it's going to set up basically everything that happens now. Since I've said this before, I'll say it again. I'll leave links at the description and links at the end of the video so you can watch those videos first before you dive into the rest of this one. Well, if you got to the end, then you probably already read it. Anyway, guys, this is amazing stuff. Awesome creativity here. It really makes sense to me. As I said before in the previous video on The Shape of the Nightmare to Come, all of this could literally happen. GW could easily implement this into their lore, and it'll fit basically seamlessly into it. Anyway, guys, leave your descriptions down below. If you guys have some fan fiction for me to read, why not send it to our Facebook page? Also, guys, don't forget to check out our Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon for more 40k content.